To use supernovas. Final Fantasy VII Sephiroth, minus Avid Children Sephiroth. We're not going to even count Avid Children Sephiroth. Avid Children Sephiroth, you know, we're not going to even count it. And Dirge of Cerberus is a Final Fantasy VII one. It's just only a flashback. So we're going to clear that up right away. You know. But the point I'm trying to say is that, you know, it's possible, but then again, you gotta look at the same character. It could be possible Sephiroth could train, and in his base form in Final Fantasy VII, he could learn the supernova ability and use abilities of his Safer Sephiroth and Bizarro Sephiroth forms if he trained enough. So he could get as strong as Ultimate Sephiroth. The reason why they call it Ultimate Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts is because he's kind of the ultimate thing. Because in Kingdom Hearts, he's actually harder. And this is facts. This is where I need people to actually understand facts. He's actually a lot stronger in the Kingdom Hearts verse. He's a harder boss in Kingdom Hearts than he ever was in Final Fantasy VII. Now, granted, Final Fantasy games do make it possible for you to beat your final boss because, you know, it's required. So they do cut some shortcuts, just like every other game, just like Ganondorf in every Zelda game. You know, they cut corners to make sure that you have a good decent time fighting. You know, a good decent time fighting. You know, your final boss, so you could finally complete the game. As for, you know, optional bosses are supposed to be harder, and Sephiroth is an optional boss in the Kingdom Hearts world. Matter of fact, you ain't really supposed to finish Sephiroth at all. It's really Cloud. You fight Sephiroth, you wear Sephiroth down, and Cloud comes off to finish Sephiroth off. But it's not to say that, you know, it's the same thing when you look at Cloud. Even though the Kingdom Hearts Cloud, the Kingdom Hearts 1 Cloud is actually the weakest version of Cloud, considering you could find him at level 7 in Kingdom Hearts 1 as an optional boss, he could still get stronger than the Avid Children one if he took the same amount of years training. If he were to train some more, he could actually surpass the Avid Children one. What I'm saying is that, look, it's okay if you don't like the results. That's alright, but you know, if you're gonna be illogical about it, if you're gonna be really illogical and all emotional and act like a soy boy about it, then you could leave, because I'm not gonna debate someone who's over emotional. I'm not gonna debate a Destiny-esque, you know, person on the internet who's just gonna be emotional about it, you know. And I said you could come on my stream in my PSN chat, you know, or even my Discord. I'll even keep my Discord open for, you know, the only reason I keep my Discord up is to address things. So I could even keep my Discord and we could debate why it doesn't really matter who's stronger. And not only that, this is the same fan base who lives, eats, shits, death battles. And when their characters don't win, or their versions of characters don't win, they go make 2 videos, and not just an illogical argument like I have, but they'll go around making emotional, I'm so pissed off and triggered that you don't have the same opinion as I do. And that's the problem. We're getting too emotional over this stuff. First of all, every channel is different, first of all, okay? You gotta read the lines of every channel. Screw Attack, okay, let's be quiet. I don't like how Screw Attack runs things, but I know better than to respond to Screw Attack because it's Screw Attack, okay? I did the one for Sephiroth versus Virtual, but I did that for the fans, you know? And I used logical-based arguments instead of I'm so emotional, I'm so angry that you have the same opinion as me. And that's the problem. That's the problem I want to address, is that, you know, about how how we're using illogical arguments just because we're offended. First of all, if you're gonna face two of the same characters but different versions, technically it really does not matter who wins that one round. First of all, I use the fighting game. A fighting game is going to be about either the CPU skill or the player skill. So, you know, let's just get that one. Let's just get that argument debunked right there. You know, another thing too, it doesn't really matter. The other one can get stronger than the others if you train. You know, the fact that Sephiroth has to transform, into safer Sephiroth in Final Fantasy VII to use Supernova ability, it would kind of say that technically by that the Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth is actually stronger than the Final Fantasy VII Sephiroth. I love Final Fantasy VII a lot, and I'm not doing this to be biased. I'm just going by what skills they can use, you know, how much they train and stuff like that. And we're gonna use boss battles because that's how, you know, that's how the Final Fantasy's power levels system works. Is if you actually use the Final Fantasy power level system works differently than fighting anime stuff. You have to go by boss battles. And from what I know, and from what everybody else knows in the Final Fantasy fan base and Kingdom Hearts fan base, Sephiroth, at least the first one, maybe not the second one as much, but the first one, Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 1 was a level 85 boss. You actually had to be level 85. In Final Fantasy VII, you're only really required to be level 65 at least, and have good items on you that block, you know, super heavy attacks, and have plenty of hero drinks, and, you know, and have plenty of elixirs on hands, and reflect material on here. So when you do Shadow Flare, it hits them and does a lot of damage. But nonetheless, the fact that you got to be level 65 to fight Sephiroth in Final Fantasy VII at least, but you have to be level 85 or at least 80 to fight Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts, it would go by in the power level gauge, that that Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth would be harder. And the fact that he could use Supernova and most of the attacks, even Shadow Flare in Kingdom Hearts 1 without even transforming, is already a strong feat as is. So pretty much, to put it this way, Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth's base power is that equal of safer Sephiroth. Now, not to discredit Final Fantasy VII Sephiroth, but you know, we didn't know. First of all, we didn't even know Sephiroth was going to come back in other games. After Final Fantasy VII, we didn't even know he was going to come back in other games. We didn't even know. You know? We didn't even know that he was going to come back in other games. We didn't know he was going to come back in Kingdom Hearts. He was an optional boss, and I'm pretty sure when people got the game, most people skipped that because, you know, they didn't even know. If they went there, it's probably just a level up so they get stronger to face the final boss, but nonetheless, Sephiroth wasn't even, we didn't even know that Sephiroth could get stronger. But Kingdom Hearts actually proved he can. Granted, yes, I get the Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy version, the original versions and Kingdom Hearts versions are different. But the fact that Sephiroth displays a feat, like that, where he's able to actually use some of the attacks that was only accessible to the transformation state just in his base form, would actually make Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth base form stronger than the original. Now, that's just only to talk about the death battle and why I think it's, but yes, I know in the last death battle that the Final Fantasy VII death battle, Final Fantasy VII versus Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth death battle. But that's, I'm gonna tell you, I used a fighting game to generate this, so the CPU outplayed me, plain and simple. So why are we getting so defensive? It's the same people who, live, drink, poop, and everything of death battles, and especially it's the same ass character. So I don't understand why people act like soy boys. Now, I'm a big Sephiroth fanboy, and I don't like Sephiroth being, I don't want Sephiroth to be downgraded at all. But technically they could get stronger than the other. So I don't understand why I would get comments. I know I ain't supposed to respond to comments. I know most of these people are just trolls who have nothing better than to do except jack off, get on the computer, find streams, find YouTube videos just to try and trigger and upset people, you know. But also, I don't think that's the case in this case. I think it is really just an angry soy boy who pretty much doesn't like the results. And you know what? At that point, what I gotta say to that person is that the reason why the results are the way they are is it's on the factor. Sorry, I got a lot on my throat, but it's on the factor that, you know, it's on the factor that the CPU outplayed me. Plain and simple. The CPU was at the same level, had the same skills I put on Sephiroth. In fact, all the Sephiroth skills in this game and level of that character is the same. Pretty much I could get someone to play me with 2-player or play with me on online, and you know, and they use my account for Sephiroth. That Sephiroth's gonna be Amaret level with the same set of skills. So, you know, it goes to the point that it really does not matter, because at the end of the day they're the same characters. So I don't get why angry soy boys like to get mad, you know, just because there's different versions of each character. There's different alternate universes. Final Fantasy does the same thing DC Comics does. They have alternate universes, you know, and evolution. Evolution is very important, because a different evolution for a character can make him stronger or weaker. Technically, you know, it can make him stronger or weaker, you know. So I don't understand why people get upset and act like pretty much soy boys just because the results didn't end up like it is. First of all, you're using a fighting games generator. First of all, it's about who outplays who, and in that case, the computer outplayed me. But of course, people got upset. Of course, we got soy boys getting angry and getting mad at death battles. First of all, why you waste the time? Each channel is different. And second of all, when you get I'm bringing up the screw attack thing again. It's the same thing with the screw attack. Like, you know, screw attack are trolls. They're known trolls. Screw attack is a troll channel. Sometimes they get it right, but that's because a lot of fans give them pressure, or they have a bias of one character. But they even go around saying they kind of have a bias of one character. But you guys don't read that. What you do is you act like soy boys and get upset and get real emotional. Instead of getting emotional, why don't you come at me with a more logical response? And you know, it's just, this is addressed to that soy boy who got defensive. But I'm gonna go back and say it again. Well done. The same character in different universe, different evolution, could technically be stronger than the other. You know, it could be possible the Final Fantasy VII Sephiroth can learn the same skills without transformation just by training. So may the crystal be with you. I'm done addressing this rant. So I'm done with that, you know. Hopefully that people stop acting so sensitive on YouTube and so sensitive on Twitch, because there's no place for sensitive Tube or sensitive Twitch. If you don't like what someone's saying, you know, you can leave.